Hey guys, thanks for joining me today. This is Dara with Lighthouse Prisms, tongue twister sometimes. Thanks for joining me, and I hope you guys have had wonderful holiday time. We still have New Year's coming up, so the holidays aren't over yet, but I do hope that you have enjoyed time with your friends and your family and being alone and having time off from work. Hopefully everybody's had a little bit of downtime and you'll have a little bit more. So what's on my heart today to talk about is just, I guess, this past year, the past couple of years really, but this past year has been really crazy. It's been good. Like, many great things have happened, but it's also been a year, in some ways of feeling like you're swimming through molasses, right? It's like, oh man, great things come, and then it's like, oh, it's moving so slow, like my Band-Aid. Or just like unforeseen challenges or I hate to say obstacles, but things that make things that seem simple harder than it seems like they should be. And I know some of that is that that energy is really dense when we're around a lot of people who don't believe, and a lack of faith can make the world, make the 3D very dense, and or mass consciousness that's in a certain direction will make things really hard, because there's a power in communal energy, which is, the Bible talks about. It says, where two or more are gathered in my name, like, the prayers are powerful. Miracles happen when two or more people pray for something. And then you get that with our society and all of our influencers, and who have like just these massive followers who enhance their hate, and their ideas that don't benefit everybody, their ideas that that promote things that hurt people, and that cause division, and those things, it's like it thickens the energy, and it makes it so much more dense and so much harder for there to be change. And we do know that as we believe, though, and as we take charge of our own life, and as we disconnect from those energies, that we are able to do just amazing things in connection with the divine in our own lives, but the more that we do that, and the more we connect with people flowing in similar energy and with similar beliefs and similar life purpose to enhance life for everybody, and to pursue a deepening connection with the divine, we see life flow so much easier for us. I mean, there's opposition sometimes, but you know what I mean. Like, major transformations happen, miracles happen daily, and those miracles are able to happen through our faith, because faith is knowing what we don't see. It's not just believing it, but it's knowing. It's knowing that if I invest myself in these ways, if I cleanse my energy, if I remove myself from these things, and if I put my direction and my energy and my hopes and my beliefs and my actions in this direction, then I am going to get these great things from it. And it's holding on and not giving up. But the faith is the believing, is the knowing that, okay, I may not see the outcome of these actions today, but I will, because I know that this is true. So today, as I was leaving the house, I was cleaning a few things up, and I have this plant. I mean, you guys can put down in the comments if this has happened to you. I guess I need to look it up. But I have a cat, and she likes to pee in my plants and kill my plants, you know? And so I have these 3 plants that have been surviving her. Well, 2 of them have, and then one she killed, and she's killed it twice from peeing in it and pulling it up. And so it's been sitting in a plant bowl for over 6 months, and there's nothing in it. You just look and it's like it's dirt, and like it's like, Dara, why are you keeping this thing? And I'm like, because I know the root is in there and it wants to grow. So I haven't let it go. But today I picked it up because I was like, okay, is it time for me to throw this thing out? And there's this one green shoot that popped up, and it was so beautiful. I didn't even think to bring it, or take a picture of it yet. Maybe I'll show it in another video. But and I was just so encouraged, it's like, okay, it's coming, it's there, so I watered it. And mind you, I had watered it like, I don't know, like a week ago. There was nothing in there, but I'm like, oh, let me just pour some water and see what happens. So this little shoot comes up, and I felt like that was such a sign for this coming year, 2026, and all the amazing things that will happen. It's like all the seeds we've been planting, and all the good energy, and all the cleansing, and the transforming, and the connecting, and the meditating, and the just being still, and the forgiving ourselves, and the forgiving of other people, and the seeking of truth, like all those little pieces that we've been doing, throughout this year and last year, and maybe even longer than that, but just all the work that we've been putting into the ground. You can't see it happening, but it's happening in the dark, and there's going to be growth from it. There's going to be major growth and fruit from these efforts. And I was just so inspired by that. And so then I started shuffling the cards right before, I like to cleanse my cards and shuffle them and reset the energy and stuff. And so I was doing that. And so I use my Lightworkers Oracle a lot. Oops. Ooh, I got 2 cards. Because I love this. It's such an awesome oracle deck. And the card that fell out was number 7, right? 7 is magic. 7 is like amazing things happening, right? But so number 7, unplug from mass consciousness, is what fell out. And I was like, oh my gosh, that totally goes with the stuff that I had been writing down as I was sitting here writing and getting my thoughts clear. Is that when, like I was talking about how when those energies, when so many people are together in any thought, there's a power behind it. And when those thoughts are negative and don't support the divine, they're even more dense, and so I think, for the next week or few weeks or however long, there's a time needed before we go into this new year to unplug so that we go in centered in our own energy and in our own power of our connection with the divine. So I'm going to read this card, and then this came out with it. I didn't even see it. I swear to you, there was just 1 card, and then I picked them up again, and there's 2 cards. Christ consciousness. This is a powerful card too, but I'm going to read this and we'll talk about it a little bit. Number 7. And actually, that's 27. And when you add 2 and 7 together, it's 9, which is, we're ending the cycle, the 9 cycle, and we are coming into a new beginning. So unplugged from mass consciousness. I've never read this one before. I don't even know if I ever noticed this one. But it says there's a belief system based on fear, doubt, and distrust that is known as mass consciousness. This belief system says it's safer to stay with the crowd, not to question what you've been taught, to accept what you hear in the media or even a book in school from your employer, your parents, or your peers. It tells you that you cannot trust the divine to take care of your financial well-being or your emotional needs. It tells you that you should be afraid and not take risks. It tells you that if you dare to stand up and live in your truths, you'll be lost and alone, humiliated, rejected, or even destroyed. You are being guided to unplug from that system of beliefs. I'm going to read that sentence again. You are being guided to unplug from that system of beliefs. I can't even praise the divine. You are capable of a more creative, imaginative, realistic, loving, and soulful, satisfying way of living. To access this more truthful way, you must let go of the way that is too small for your soul. So what we see going on in society right now, it is too small for your soul. It is too limiting for your soul. It is too restrictive for your soul, because the divine has great plans for your life. You've got great plans for your life. And the divine says anything you desire to be, anything you desire to do, you can do it, because you are enough and you are connected. And together with the divine flowing through you, you can make shit happen. I'm going to continue to read. It says, you are brave and aware enough to think outside the square, beyond what society or your peers may consider normal. This is a part of your spiritual life purpose. And this is why you were listening to this message. I just got a message. This card brings you a message of support. You are supposed to be questioning things right now, perhaps feeling confused as you wonder why the things you once believed in don't seem quite reliable anymore. You are in a transition from one way of thinking to another, opening up to a new world, which you can accept and trust enough to live in because of the upgraded beliefs you are cultivating. This is a sign of growth, and it is a good place to be in, even if it is not always comfortable. No matter how much others may be resisting or criticizing your choices and beliefs, perhaps because your new thoughts and ideas take you away from the world that they feel comfortable in. Your higher guidance encourages you to keep exploring new ideas and opening your mind to the unusual and out of the ordinary. If you've been thinking along new lines, trust yourself and your process. Unplugging from known belief systems will seem scary at first, but once you realize all the benefits gained from going through that self-liberating process, you will enjoy it much more. So if you get caught up in some of the crazy politics that's going on in our world right now, if you get caught up in limiting beliefs of like, this is what you're supposed to be and this is what you're supposed to do, or you get caught up in religion and the limitations on religions, on women are supposed to do this in religion, or you're supposed to believe this way, and then you used to be someone who was rigid and didn't like other people because they had different beliefs and stuff like that. The divine is telling you, step out of that, step out. And it will feel uncomfortable, but keep going, because it's going to get good. It says this process will bring you freedom and empowerment to work with your belief systems more consciously, and in doing so, live a life that better express your heart and soul. Then opportunities, connections, and communities can be opened up to you in ways that defy your old beliefs. And I just want to interject here. I had a client, about a year ago, and I still think of him sometimes. But we were talking, and I've had him. He's come in since then, but the first time I cut his hair was about 6 years ago. I mean, not 6 years ago, 6 months ago. And he was talking about how single guy, older guy, never been married, didn't seem like he was dating, and he went to Europe right after high school. And so when he came home to this small southern town, he had dyed his hair blue, and he said his father did not talk to him for 6 months until his hair grew out. Like his dad did not talk to him while his hair was a different color. He was like, I don't know you, and I will not speak to you because I didn't raise you to be that way. So his dad did not talk to him, for 6 months before he cut it all out. And in my mind, I thought, oh my God, that guy was so scarred. He's never been able to be true to himself. And for me, one aspect of that was the fact that he never got married. He was not in a relationship and didn't seem like he really had that many relationships. And because he was in an environment that did not allow him to live true to himself, and he was afraid to venture out. He wasn't afraid to go travel, but I guess his love for his parents and his dad's respect was so intense that he was afraid to step out from that. He was afraid to risk losing that in order to be himself. And the divine is calling us to be ourselves, to step out, to step away from mass society, to step away from our parents' views, our friends' views, our neighborhood's views, and to draw within, to find the divine within us, and to branch out. It says you can. With this change in your belief system, give yourself permission to step into an entirely new life while still being you. You don't lose yourself, you enhance yourself by embracing new things, It says much fear has been generated and perpetuated through mass media, advertising, and the agendas of those who want to exploit emotional insecurity in others for their own selfish means. You got all those people, those influencers telling you to buy their stuff and support their cause and buy their coins with their face on it and all kinds of stuff like that. Yeah, that's what they're taking advantage. They're taking advantage. They're leading you to think one thing, and they are benefiting off of that. And the elite do that too. It says much fear, okay, I read that part, has been generated and perpetuated through mass media, advertising, and the agendas of those who want to exploit emotional insecurity in others for their own selfish means. Human minds and emotions have been manipulated and conditioned into certain patterns. How can manipulation and conditioning be overcome? By taking spiritual responsibility and reclaiming personal power, not by being religious, but by spiritual responsibility, figuring out what we know is right and true and good, and becoming those things, not accepting what mass religion says should be right and who's right, but truly connecting to the divine. It says this occurs through the strength of the individual who asks, is this how I choose to live? Sometimes breaking from the accepted norm, doing things differently, or being considered weird or strange to family, colleagues, and friends is a sign that you are breaking away from the consciousness of the masses, which is not compatible with your own higher frequency and consciousness. Understanding you can still love someone without having to live within their more limited view of the world. It allows you to break free and connect with a higher frequency and love-based reality. So it doesn't mean that you don't love your family, that you don't love your friends, your spouse, your parents, your community, your sorority sisters, your coworkers. If you choose to live in a higher vibration, you can still love them, you can still like them, but you can learn to create separation between your views and theirs, and not allow your life to be limited through their perspective or by their perspective. You were born to bring a new vibration of thought and awareness to this planet. You are meant to think differently. You will find those who can benefit and even love you for this difference, and those who are challenged or fearful of you for it. Either way, you can love and approve of yourself. Nourish those relationships that support you, and practice compassionate detachment from those who do not, without compromising who you are. Keep unplugging yourself, one layer, one thought, one word, one deed at a time, from that which the mass consciousness would have you buy into. More stuff, more fear, more competition, more doubt, and more confusion. That's what mass society desires. That's what the matrix desires for you. That's how we're controlled to limit ourselves, through believing we need more stuff, attaching to more fear, seeing everyone as competition because that's a lack perspective, having more doubt in ourselves and the things we desire, or believing even that the world can someday have world peace, and more confusion. Not so many people will look at the truth and be like, I don't know, I can't understand it, I don't see it. You got to separate from that. You can question any thought you don't want to invest in. Free yourself. You have the power to change your world, and through changing your world, you can change the world, the greater world that we live in as a result. One liberating thought at a time. That's really powerful. That is really, really powerful. Because there's so many things in our society that have propagated separation and division, and pits groups against other groups, different religions against different religions, different races against different races, different economic groups against other economic groups, when in reality if you're not in the top 1%, if you're not in the top 0.5%, for the most part, we're all in the same boat. We are all in the same boat, impacted by other people's greed and other people's desires, and other people, instead of them paying their fair share and contributing to society in a great way, they're like, oh no, wait, this works great. We're gonna do the sifting method, like you do with flour when you're gonna make a cake, and you're like, you put it in the sifter and you shake it through and it comes down, and it takes forever to get that stuff out. But that's how we're gonna do. One person's gonna get all this, and then they're gonna just shake a little bit, and crumbs will come out for everybody. And that makes a really great society. And so they pit people against each other because they say, oh my gosh, that other person is stealing what's yours, when in reality, the few are hoarding everything, and then they benefit when people hate each other because of whatever, because of economics, because of race, because of religion, because of resources. If you just keep people in angst and in that heavy, dense energy, they don't even see that that you're the one that has everything and you're pulling all the strings. So anyway, the divine is saying, separate from mass consciousness, to take this time to separate, and to get into contact with our own hearts, with your own heart, and to know that your dreams, your desires, your transformation, it's real and it matters, and you can make a major impact in the world just by being true to yourself, by finding enlightenment in yourself, by finding what is true and what is right, and what brings joy and what brings healing and what brings empowerment to yourself. And so I just want to encourage you with that. I know that was a lot of reading. It's almost 25 minutes. Maybe I'll read the Christ consciousness one another time. Let's see. Is there a card that wants to come out? This is going to be a great year. I was so inspired by my plant and the little sprout that came out, because that culminates just like, okay, this has been a year that it's been a little hard. Oh, let's see what popped out for us. The Ten of Cups. The Ten of Cups. This is what 2026 has in store for us. The Ten of Cups is like ultimate fulfillment. Our dreams coming true, family growth of family relationships, abundance and prosperity and love. And yes, it's okay to desire prosperity and abundance. And that's what 26 has in store for us. And it's 26 minutes. So much love. Thank you guys for being with me, for growing with me. If there's anything I said that encouraged you, that helped you out, that inspired you, that then hit the like button. Oops, leave a comment. Thank you so much for joining me today. Much love to you. I look forward to seeing you in the new year. I'll probably do another reading before that. But no, take this time to disconnect with mass consciousness and go within and focus and think about like where your direction for this year is going to go and what you desire and what beautiful things are going to grow out from you and your beliefs and your pursuance of connection with the divine. So much love to you. I appreciate you. Thank you.